So, continuing on from where we left off on this model, went ahead and already removed the screws and couplers, so we can go ahead and just take the shelf off. So, starting off with the light board, I'm going to go ahead and remove the old bulb lights, incandescent bulbs, because they're honestly annoying me. These are going to be swapped out for LEDs. So we'll go ahead and disconnect this from the main board. And then we'll slip those back on. So just like that, we removed the old light from this locomotive. So moving back on to the shell, we're going to go ahead and remove some of the SP light package features. This includes the oscillating light, the emergency light, and the class lights. So zooming in on the nose, this will be pretty easy to do. We'll just take our hobby knife and just kind of wedge that and leave that detail you can see. That was quite easy to do. Now we'll go ahead and remove the class lights, and this part is a little more tricky to do. But what we're going to do is go behind here. just like that, we went and removed the class lights. We'll go and move on to the oscillating light. It's on the cab roof. So now we'll go ahead and remove the oscillating light, and it's basically the same process as removing the class lights. We'll just that. And then take some glue. Take some 020 inch styrene. Just plate over that. So just like that, we've got the oscillating light plated over. So we're going to move on to the next step here. I've already masked off the model here on both sides. We're going to go ahead and patch out the unit here, this logo. Just using some basic acrylic paint here. Go ahead and it's really close. It matches the color tone pretty well. So I'm only gonna film, applying the first layer of paint. But what we're gonna do is basically paint this, until it covers the masked area. Then we'll peel the masking tape. All right, you all, it's the next day. The paint's dried. Go ahead and peel our tape here. Yes, I know not all of the SP lettering has been patched over. I will scrape the remaining SP lettering off. And then on this side, it's completely patched. So you can see it there. We'll just have to clean it up. Also on the front, I painted the class lights up. So y'all recall it, we removed them. Yeah. Also on the cab, I went ahead and painted this up. That's about all I've done. So we're gonna go ahead and touch up the locomotive, the patching. I'm also going to patch out the SP logo. It's the same process, so there's no need to get that on video, but it's the same process. So yeah, to avoid any repetition in this video, I'm not gonna film this part. But it's the exact same process. As for removing the remaining SP lettering, as well as touching up any patching, because you can see there's some areas where like paint bled through. You can see it bled through. That's also the same process as removing the SP lettering. As for this, I just take a hobby knife and so just like that, and then you continue that until it's basically gone. So I'll go and continue that, and we'll go ahead and get started on the next process, on the next step. All right, so we went ahead and removed the rest of the SP lettering. See it there. And we've also patched over the SP markings on the front. You can see it there on the other side. It's been cleaned up. Also, I've gone ahead and fabricated some ditch light housings. I'll go ahead. There we go. So I've, fabricated two. This one I just need to trim the styrene, but as of now, it's pretty much done. So we'll go ahead and install the ditch lights onto the undersill, not the undersill, the anticlimber. They're just gonna go here and here. So I'll go ahead and be right back once we get these installed. So with the ditch lights now installed, you can see on there. With that now installed, we're gonna start the fun process, the really fun process actually, of weathering. Now, I'm not going to be able to get all the weathering on camera because I'm going to have to go back and look at my photos. I don't have anything else I can look at the photos from. I only have my phone with me. So, you're going to have to bear with me. But we're going to start off with the cab. I think we'll start off with the cab. There's some weathering on the cab, or around the nose. So we'll start with that. So whenever you're doing weathering, you want to, take your time. Just to make sure you don't do anything wrong. In this case, there is a bit of grime here on the nose. So I'm going to use my 20% paintbrush. Just kind of sorry about any background noise, by the way. There we go. I'll go and finish up some of the weathering on the cab, and then we'll be right back. But it's basically the same process as what we were just doing. So, after looking at some prototype photos, just looked at some prototype photos real quick, I just realized that this vent does not exist on the prototype. So we'll just take our hobby knife and go ahead and grab our other blade. There we go. So with the vent removed, we'll go ahead and touch up some paint, but that's removed. I also went ahead and painted the door handle yellow, just like the real thing. So. You can also see there it's got the whip antenna on the top. So you have the vent removed. We'll go ahead and move on. So, in real life, the number boards on the fireman's side, these ones right here, are in the Santa Fe font. So what we're going to go ahead and do is cut out some numbers. Here, it's hard to see. You'll see them once we get these applied, but it's honestly close enough to Santa Fe. So I'm going to be right back once we get these numbers applied. Well, you all have seen how I. Alright, so done. So we'll be right back after we apply the numbers to the number boards. So as seen right here, we have the locomotive renumbered. You can see we have the new numbers in. Could have turned out a little bit better, but I'm not going to bother redoing the number boards. These will be lighted as well. So you can see I touched up some of the weathering on the cab, on the nose. So you got that painted up. And we have the ditch lights also painted. So next we'll go ahead and start weathering the side. The side has got some interesting weathering. I'll go ahead and show some of it, but not all of it. Because, again, the weathering is very simple. So I'll just film the easiest to film. So, looking at the I think this might be the air blower. It's what cools the traction motors. There's some bleaching, and then it rusts on top. So that's what we're going to go ahead and remake. So again, looking at the photos, we'll go ahead and do that. So looking at this right here. So we'll go ahead and finish up the kind of bleaching of the paint. Go ahead and show you all another model that has a similar effect. That is this unit here, 2738. Please zoom in right there. You'll see that the locomotive has some of that bleaching on it. Cab roof there. And on the other side, you can see there's a bit of bleaching. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. So go down and catch up to whenever we're basically I'll show y'all once it's all done. All right, so with the patching done, the kind of peeling paint, the bleaching, we'll go ahead and do some of the kind of rusting of that. Just had to run it really quick. There we go. So we'll go ahead and do that next. All right, so in some of these areas where the paint is starting to peel, you'll see that it's also rusting. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm again using this brush right here. All right, so next we're going to do the kind of rusting where the paint has peeled, exposing the bare metal, the elements. So that's where it's starting to rust. It's really easy to do. All I'm using is this brush right here, and I just find the point, give it that fine point. Kind of like that. And then I'll just take some Vallejo mahogany brown. That's what I tend to use. Excuse the background noise here, but we're gonna go ahead and zoom in right there. So looking at the cab, this is completely rusted up. So yeah, that's kind of the basics of it. I'll go ahead and show you all what this looks like once it's all done.